Hey, welcome back. In this episode, we're going to install a mini split HVAC system for the heating and air conditioning. And while we got the trench dug, we might as well run some fiber. So we're going to do some fiber to hardwire my computer as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, mini split time. So I'm going to throw a disclaimer out here and kind of explain a little bit. If you guys are kind of copying or doing something similar, a 10 by 12 shed doesn't need a mini split. It's a little bit overindulgent. You can probably heat this thing really well with a space heater. You get some really nice ones on Amazon for about $60 with thermostats built in, which just click in. In the summer, you can probably get like a portable air conditioning unit. It goes out the window, or maybe put a wall unit in for a few $100, a lot cheaper. Went with a mini split because I didn't realize the costs involved in installation. I thought it was pretty easy install, but it turns out it's a lot more convoluted. So the actual unit itself, I got $100 off of Black Friday. I got it on Amazon. It was about $550, which is great. It does heat, air, no problem at all. The problem is the installation. I thought you just slap it on the wall, run a couple of cables through, have an electrician hook it up, you're good to go. No, you got to charge this thing with the air conditioning unit. You got to charge it. You got to have a separate dedicated line. There's a ton of wiring involved, more than probably the average homeowner could do. So average installation is about $1,000, but you need a dedicated circuit. So to run a circuit from the box in the house to the shed is another $1,000. Luckily, my guy said, "Hey, dig the trench yourself. You save yourself some money. I'll do it for $650." So $1,650 to install it plus your unit. So you're over $2,000. So little self-indulgent, but hey, I want to do 3D printing out here and have some collectibles out here, some paints and stuff. I want it a nice constant temperature all year round. So hey, I'm splurging. Hey, I already bought the unit. I'm going to spend that money and get it, get the mini split put in. So yeah, so that's my little disclaimer out of the way. If you try and do something similar, they're great. Don't get me wrong, but the cost involved, you could probably do it a lot cheaper if you're trying to save on budget. So another thing is, normally, you finish all the drywall, sand it, prime it, paint it, and then put it up. The easiest step. My drywall guys took off for Christmas for a couple of weeks, and I don't really want to let that thing just sit. Some HVAC guys can come in between. So what it means is I just need to clean up this little area here, get it primed and painted, get the bracket put up, and then once we've done the rest of the room, I can easily just paint around it. Not having to worry about taking the unit off the wall again, or unhook it, or try to mask around it. Just makes things a little bit easier. Think of like a step ahead with the actual next step. So you got a nice template here. The wall basically goes on the studs. The studs are here, 8 inches off the top, and at least you need a gap at least 15 inches each side. No problem at all here. Obviously, you got way more 15 inches. So 8 inches. I'll measure it. It's going to be about there-ish. Just going to drill these in, and then you got a hole that goes in the wall here for the lines and stuff, the cables to the unit outside. Here, which is hidden behind the actual unit itself. So this is the size of the unit. That's the bracket, and just basically drill it to the studs, which you can see fortunately, you can see where they are from where he's put the drywall screws. But yeah, pretty straightforward. So next step, I'm going to prime this using drywall primer, because obviously if not, this sheetrock stuff, it just absorbs it. It's porous. So you're going to prime it, let it dry, and then just paint my color I'm going with is like a jeans color from Sherwin-Williams. I think it's my favorite jeans is a color like a gray blue color. Paint that off. Again, give myself a couple of inches each side for the roller. And then once this is on, when I come to decorate the whole thing, I can just, I'd have to go right against it. I got a little bit of border paint around it. So yeah, just trying to think a step ahead. So that's the first step. I'll get sand this back a little bit once it's dry, get a primer on, get the paint on, and then we'll get this bracket installed. Okay, so I've started digging this trench across the lawn here. Most of this is weeds anyway, so I'm not really trashing much. And from the house to the back of the shed, they dedicated a line for the HVAC. So it's rained a lot last night, so I thought, you know what, I'll run out real quick and start digging it. You can see how much water is filling in already. It's just turned to mud now. So at this point, I've got a blister on my hand, so I'm pretty much done for the day. But made a start. It's got to be about 2 feet deep, so probably about 8 inches right now. But marking out, I was going this way along the line, and then about 2 inches underneath the ground, there's like, I know it's like an old concrete patio or a path or something. So so I had to go around it a little bit here. So it's going to go to the back of the shed, and it's going to run some conduit for it with the dedicated line, and got to figure out for my electrician exactly where it's going to end here. But this is the existing cable, just ran through the ground, not very deep at all, like 2 inches, maybe 3 inches below the surface. This is the main power going to the shed. So we're going to do this one properly, you know, run conduit. And as you can see, yeah, kind of marked it out. Come back another day when some of this water is kind of drained in, and can dig a little deeper and also extend it to the shed and to wherever I need to go to the house here. I'm assuming I'm probably going to go right around where this tree is, because I got a little vent here, so maybe this is a good place for the cable to come out. My electrical box is in the corner under here somewhere under crawl space, so maybe we can run it the inside and then out around here, and then 25 feet out to the shed. Now I was potentially thinking about running some fiber out here too for the internet, but I've really good Wi-Fi out here, so I don't think there's necessarily need to do it right now. That's a future project maybe. I don't think they can run the same conduit anyway, so you know, maybe another day I could run the another trench over to there, and under that window is kind of where my router is, where the Verizon comes in, so maybe we could run it down there and then across the second trench into here, into the corner, potentially. But I think for now I can just go wireless and see how it goes. It's not a big deal. But again, yeah, just working for this trench. You see it's just filling up with water right now, and yeah, I need to let this ground drain and come back and dig it out more. All right, so it's been a couple of days to catch up on and laying conduit for the internet. So that's the cable right there. I did put some tape over the end to protect the end. This is fiber cable. Now, pros and cons, you can run Cat 6, but everybody on the internet says Cat 6, you know, has to be grounded and can't run it for the ground, blah, 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 which would be super cheap, where fiber is a little bit more expensive, but it doesn't need to be grounded. This is armored. I'll put all the information and show notes below what I'm using, and 98 feet from the house. So drill a hole in by my router in my office, dropped it through, did a crawl space, pulled it through the crawl space, and you can see I've got it running through the gap here and running all the way down to the shed. Now the problem is I'm short one piece. Now these are 10 foot long, so it's going to be a problem to fit this in my car. Maybe I can just cut it down at the store or something. But I just need a male piece, maybe get a coupling or something, just to get me to here and then into the shed. So almost there. So yeah, it may be an overkill. It's armored. I think you can probably just run stuff in the ground, but using conduit anyway, doing it properly. And yeah, so I know what YouTube's like. If you guys all like, start leaving comments below. This isn't the main power for the house or anything like this. It's just a simple fiber cable for the internet I'm running. So I know some points maybe not exactly 18 inches deep and all that kind of stuff, but hey, never done this before, and first time. And this is, you know, whatever I've done here is way better than just burying it straight in the ground. So yeah, so it's going to pop into the shed right there, into the corner where the computer will be, and then there'll be it'll link up to some kind of unit on each end. Again, at the top of my head I can't remember what they're called, but once it's all round and done, I'll update it and show you the stuff I got. So it's up to 10 gigabyte connection, and it's hardwired straight from my house into the shed. So that's what I've been up to. Talking about drama, dug this over the weekend, last week, and then we had a crazy storm on Sunday night and got 3.5 inches of rain, and this obviously runs downhill, and this whole thing turned to a river running into the house, and I was worried the house would get flooded or foundation damage, but fortunately it's kind of over. Today's Wednesday morning. It's over the last couple of days it's drained off and we seem to be okay. I am going to add some gravel to certain areas here to stop the water flowing down, and then obviously I want to get this filled in as quickly as possible. Got about 5 more days till it rains again, hopefully, so that's why I'm anxious to get this done and then trench filled in, so I'm not creating a river into my house basically. So yeah, things are never easy, right? So that's what we got going on, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's my update. I'm going to continue. I need to go to Home Depot now, get one more stick just to finish this off, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so underneath my desk here in the main house, now excuse all the mess of the wires, I just plugged all these in just to make sure it works. There's no cable management yet. So those of you with OCD maybe want to look away. So basically how it works, I've got my Verizon, come over here. My Verizon comes into the wall from outside and into my router. Then I've got a cable from my router which will go into my PC.
here, my home office, my work computer, and then there's just a LAN cable, an RJ45 Ethernet cable going into this box right here. Now, I'll put a link on Amazon for what I'm using. Very cheap. I got an open box for about $55, and most of the time Amazon, it looked basically brand new. It's all sealed and stuff. So it comes with all the parts you need. So just plugs in. This links your router to this converter for the fiber, and then you basically have your fiber cable, which is OM3 cable. Again, I'll put a link below. Runs through here, out and across the yard, through the conduit into the shed. Well, it was the shed, now it's my studio. Armored cable. You could probably direct bury it, but I went ahead and just put it through conduit anyway, and also did attach some string to it with some electrical tape. So if I want to run any more cable in the future, I've got a pull string there I can use. Hopefully could work, make things a little bit easier. And again, I've got lights on here. I've got to check it, but I'm pretty sure that's good. 5 or 6 lights. The light, we're not transmitting at 100, we're transmitting at 1000, which I think is accurate. So we should be good here. And then now across to the other side, we can see how it looks on the other end.
Okay, so here on the other side, you can see we got basically the same fiber cable running through the side for the conduit. As you remember, we dug that trench, and it's coming away from the house, 70 feet, blah, 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 into here. And another one of these units, so it comes as a pair, just plugs in. And just remember, the fiber comes with little white protective things at the end. Just pull a little caps off, the white caps, push it in, and it just plugs into the wall. And then the Ethernet cable from here will go into my desktop, my tower, and it gives me hardwired computer access. Now, a couple things. Obviously, we're still doing drywall and stuff here, so I'll remove it, with the dust. And there's going to be a wall plate that goes on there. You get special wire ones, which you'll probably see later on in the build series. And on the outside, make sure you silicon caulk the outside, the conduit that comes in the wall, so no water can get in. A couple of things there, but yeah, pretty easy. I figured, the hard part is obviously going into the crawl space and getting it out the house, the cable. But as I had the trench dug for electrical anyway, I thought, why not? So a couple $100 extra. I got myself hardwired internet, and don't have to worry about any wireless signals or anything like that. Now, these are cheaper ones, as I mentioned, about $55 for the pair, and I think this is good up to about 1 gig, which is more than enough I need just for my home office, surfing the net, watching YouTube videos and stuff. You can get ones, you go up to 10 gigabyte if you want that one too, but again, that's a little bit overkill for what I need in my setup.
So I'm edited the video, and it's been a few days later. I just want to come back to insert this little clip here because it's pretty interesting. So you can see these numbers as I talk through them. So before I head out of town, I managed to just quickly test it. So my work laptop had a docking station, which was easy to kind of just plug in, and rather than taking all my desktop and my computer equipment across right now. So did that, tested it, and you can see results are pretty interesting. So before we start, my Verizon service, Fios internet service, I think I pay for either 200 or 300 megabytes. That's all I need. I just surf the net, watch some TV, stream some YouTube, that kind of stuff. I don't video game or need like the gigabyte connection. I don't need to pay the extra. So I just pay literally $25 a month for the 200 to 300 gigabytes, which services my whole household, no problem at all. So that being said, you can see the two ones here on the screen. Now, number one is plugged in with a fiber we laid, and as you can see, we're right at the numbers. We're at 231 download, 244 upload, which is pretty awesome. And I unplugged it and then ran it through the Wi-Fi. And as you can see, the Wi-Fi is 33 download, 23 upload, so 10% of what it is in the fiber. So I had no idea it was that much of a discrepancy. So I'm glad I spent that couple $100 now around the cable. As you can see, it makes a huge difference. And yeah, if I was up to go upgrade my internet service, I could obviously get more speed. But for what I need, that 200 plus is more than enough. So yeah, 10 times faster using the fiber, and yeah, it was worth it. So extra effort and time. So there we go. Just want to show you the results, the difference between the Wi-Fi and the fiber cable.
Mini split installation day. Now, as you saw, I painted that area there around the studs. I did drill some pilot holes. You can barely see here. Some preppers, so I don't have to worry about later on the painting. I have to worry about painting around the unit. Also kept the plastic bag, but that it comes in, the wall unit comes in, because once it's all up and running, I still got drywall to sand and stuff. So plastic bag will help keep some dust out of it. And right now with 41 degrees, so even though it's insulated, I mean outside right now it's in the 20s, and we're 41. I'm noticing this thermostat is linked to it's really good, by the way, the Gobi one. It's about $10 on Amazon, and it links to Wi-Fi to my app, and it records all everything. So it doesn't really drop below 40 in here, but say outside in the 20s. So we'll see how it goes, especially when some heat's involved. How well it can keep the heat. Also, again, we're on a concrete floor. We haven't no insulation on the floor yet, so hopefully that's going to help once you got the insulation down and the underlayment and the flooring down as well. But yeah, there we go. So exciting times. So I'm going to have my HVAC guy come install these units today, and hopefully by the end of the day we'll have some heat in here. Okay, you can see we've got her in, no problem at all, and that's the size of it. If I pan out a little bit, you can see the size, and it's set to a 61 degrees in here. That's the lowest it goes in the heat. So just a 61 to keep it ticking over, and we'll see how it kind of maintains that temperature. But yeah, no problem at all. It just took a couple of hours to install it by the guys this morning, and then a couple of hours for the electrician to run the line. So that's what it looks like on the inside. I got remote control for it and also an app, so I can control temperature from my phone. And if I go around the outside, you can see we're starting to fill in the trench a little bit here. Or I've started filling the trench a little bit here, which is almost as much work as digging it, so it's not a great experience. And then back here is the little unit on the pad, and you can see that's electrical, and that's where the lines feed into the machine. So that's going to give me all year round, whatever temperature I want, I dial it in. So air and air conditioning in the summer and heating in the winter. So yeah, that's very excited it's in. It took a little bit setting up to do in terms of the app and stuff, but now, like I said, I set to low setting 61 just to keep it ticking over, and it takes no time at all to keep this thing heated up and very quiet as well. So that's it. A lot of work on this episode in terms of digging trenches and hard labor, and I'm going to wrap it up here. Next time I come back, we'll be I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do next, but thank you for following. I'll be back next week with the next episode. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps my channel out, and I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.